Hey guys, what's going on? So apparently, looks like the couch went live for me. I get I'm late. I literally woke up from a slight nap right at 1 o'clock. So, yeah, I know I'm late. And then I had to redo a bunch of shit. PlayStation went to rest mode on me. I need to get a cup of coffee. I had a lot of shit to do. Mainly the bathroom. But we're good now. How's everybody doing? Coffee is not for the weak. It's delicious. And full of caffeine. Alright. Get my audio up. For the music in game. Oh, I know why I can't hear it. There we go. There we go. I don't mind me some hot tea. I don't mind me a bit of hot tea, but coffee's better. Coffee's better. Coffee's better. Just saying. Not gonna shit on anybody for going to tea, but coffee is better. I cannot speak for GamerSup, so I cannot make an argument there. I've never had it, so I cannot speak for it. Alright, so last time out, Aura Blackwell was causing some chaos. She was holding people hostage and being a bit of a dick with her robots. And yeah, oh really, Schwarber went yard already? God damn it. Well, I only had $1 to bet today anyway, so. I got Yordon, so tell me if Yordon homers, Jan. Because if he does, then I'm good. Alright. But now we have to redo the trial that started all this insanity. And I got a feeling we're going to see an old face come back. And I'm very excited for that. Nathaniel Lowe went yard. I wonder what's taking so long, but we can't really start the investigation yet, can we? Even if we could, this mess makes it hard to tell what the room was like 7 years ago. Mr. Wright? Ah! It's the hostage taker! I'm back to my normal self. You are still being monitored, however. I had lunch like 2 hours ago, but I feel like I have something in my teeth. Oh, I do. I can feel it. Yep. Got it. I'm good. Bro, why Calais going to the Ravens? The Ravens aren't going to win nothing. They're the dumbasses that actually gave a 3-year deal to Diego Pavia. Why would you ever go there? Also, Jesse Minter's defense. Not going to do well, at least against Jacksonville. We saw what it did last year. Why would he go there? pitch well today's? No Jordan anything? No. No. He has good stats against Bassett. He has very good stats against Bassett. He should homer off of him. Come on. I mainly need it because then I get $4 and I have $4 to bet with instead of 0. I'm out of betting money. Yeah, it's mainly because Sal Stewart doesn't homer when I bet on him. That is literally the reason I have not hit bets is Sal Stewart. I had like 3 bets one day that if Sal Stewart had hit a home run, I would have made a good maybe 100 or 2. And Sal Stewart 3 straight days doesn't hit a home run. I'm like, bro, I just need 1 out of you. Did he hit on his parlay? I thought I placed on his parlay, but I guess I didn't. But I should have been playing on his play of the days. That's what I should have been doing. But more importantly, an important guest has arrived. A guest? Oh, we get Animu. This man gets Animu. Deja vu. I've been in this place before. Higher on the sea, and you know it's the time to go. The goat is back.
Been well, right?
The goat is back. Edgeworth? What are you doing here? This is Miles Edgeworth. We've been friends since we were kids. We faced off in court a number of times back when he was a prosecutor. But now... Hello, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Oh, but you're not a prosecutor anymore, are you? He's chief prosecutor now. Pretty soon, it'll be a year, right? A title is nothing more than a title. Don't we have more pressing issues to discuss? Miles, we haven't seen you in years, man. Tell us everything. So what are you doing here, Edgeworth? The captor chose me as the prosecutor for the UR1 case. Wow, she's good. She went all the way to the top. I gathered all the information I could in the short time that I had. I'll give you a rundown. You're always so prepared, Prosecutor Edgeworth. It's weird because my brain keeps wanting to slip back into the normal, like normal Poirot's voice. But then I can't, so I have to force myself not to slip into it. Thanks, I appreciate this. I could really use the help. I could use a lot of help. 'Cause I'm not awake yet. Weird. Here, I'm gonna up the audio just a tad bit. There we go. I'll start with a brief overview. The victim was a psychologist, Dr. Metis Sykes. Yeah, Athena's mother. 7 years ago, on the 7th of October, her body was found here in this very room. I have 2 crime scene photos and the police notes on them for you to see. The fuck? Are we sure she didn't get abducted by aliens with a pose like that? What a terrible way to die. This other photo shows the other side of the room I see. Much cleaner than it was now. I also have the autopsy report for you. Let's see, the cause of death was a stab wound to the chest. The weapon pierced the heart, and so death was instantaneous. The murder weapon was the victim's own katana found at the scene. Yes, Detective Fulbright mentioned she was into Japanese culture. As aren't we all? The body was found by a Space Center staff member and 2 police officers. The police were called in because of the sabotage threat on the Hat 1 launch. Woo. Start playing Pragmata. Enemy has been unlocked. Our boss fight just to give the girl a box of crayons. I have seen a little bit of Pragmata. And I will say I fully now understand why a large chunk of the female streamers are just like going crazy over the little girl and being very like, I want kids now type of feel. I get it. I get it. Yeah. And then, of course, you have the other side of the internet that I found out about through a video. And the fuck. Why the fuck? Technically, the other side of the internet, that's not enjoyable people that are awesome and just enjoying the game and get a little bit of baby fever because of it. Those people, what the fuck? Are they into robots and being PDF files? Being pedophilers? Like, are you into both? Because that's just weird. That's weirder than even just one of them, if I'm being honest. That's pretty impressive. Because both are weird. Yeah, but I found out about that through a video I was watching, and it was a tough video to get through. Don't acknowledge that side. That side is terrible people that don't deserve to play the game. That is a definite. I will say I like the DLC you can get, where essentially, in my opinion, you look like just a Gundam, and she just looks like a shinobi. It's fucking awesome. I was like, that's cool as shit. That costume's cool as hell. Yes, Director Cosmos mentioned this too. A few hours after the body was discovered, a suspect was arrested. The suspect was Simon Blackquill, a young prosecutor. We know the man. I hear his trial was over in a flash. Yes, a guilty verdict was declared in only one session. Not only did he plead guilty, but there was decisive evidence against him, too. The security camera video. And a photo of the moment of the crime, as I recall. But did Prosecutor Blackwell have a motive? To this day, his motive is still unknown. Gotta turn the mic up a tad bit. There we go. He insisted he did it, but he would never say why. Classic Orioles fashion, the pitcher's doing well, so that means the bats are ice cold. You know, I'd love the Angels to be, to be enough to where I could be happy with knowing what one side's gonna be what. But man, the Angels started off real well, and they are maybe the worst team of all time now. Because either our starting pitcher plays like we haven't seen since the early 2000s, and our offense does very little while they're out there, but enough to get us a lead, and then the relief pitching comes in and we lose the game immediately. Or the offense goes crazy, the starter allows 1 to 2 runs, which is okay because the offense has gotten us going, and then the relief pitching comes in, we lose the game immediately. Those are your options. Legitimately, the second a reliever comes in, I've already just been like, okay, game's over. Because that's the past 4 games we have led before the reliever comes in and lost. We're riding a 6-game losing streak. Yep. I feel like that's every baseball team except for the Dodgers. I feel like the Dodgers are the only teams where it's like the bad thing of them is they get cocky and play down to competition. I'll say this much. Yes, we got absolutely fucked up by the White Sox. We led in every game until the relief pitching came in, and then we absolutely got bent over and taken advantage of. I will say this, though. The White Sox are so much better than I thought they would be. I thought they were going to be literally like you could have played a Little League team and would have beaten the White Sox. They're so much better than I thought they would be. Colson Montgomery has really developed. Give that man credit. I've been watching a good chunk of the White Sox because of Morikama this season. And he's fucking awesome. Murakami is fucking great to watch. Like, give the White Sox credit. They actually have something. Their pitching still needs a lot of work, but they have something. They have a good young core. If you want me to be honest, they have the best young core in the AL West, hands down. They have the best young core in the AL West. They arguably have the best hitting lineup in the AL West. I mean, Mariners would probably be 2 with Cal Raleigh and Julio in there, but the A's are just a very solid team. Their pitching needs a lot of work, but they're just a very nice, solid young team. Hey, Dusk, welcome to the stream, man. We're talking baseball right now. Because I need Yordan Alvarez to homer, and apparently the O's are playing. You know what? I just realized I can have that game up on the side, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Why would I not? Do da la la la. Time out. Do they not? Can I not just watch it normally? The fuck you doing? Masson, why are you making this difficult for me? Ah, here we go. Here we go. Now I can actually set up to have the game on the side. Players moved on. I mean, hey, you at least got Schwarber homering. I had fun with baseball for like the first month. First month was really fun. And then yeah. And now I don't want to watch baseball anymore. Okay, there we go. Actually, either way to do it. There we go. I will say too, the Yankees not as good as they should be. The Rays are surprisingly good. How are they so good? And in the Athletics, I understand. Yeah, I mean, I am not surprised one bit. I'm not surprised the Angels have the worst last 10 games in Major League Baseball because my God, have we been awful. And that is an understatement. Awful doesn't describe how bad our relief pitching is. We literally released uh, Jojo Romero. I think mainly because he argued with Kurt Suzuki. I think's the reason he got fired. Um, we released him. We got rid of Joey Lucchesi, and we got rid of another one of our relievers, and I don't remember who it was that got sent down. But yeah, the entire relief staff is essentially new now, outside of like four guys. I don't even know who our closer is anymore. So, yeah. He played really well for the first four games. Romero played really well the first four games. I was stunned. And then every reliever became dog shit. Like, if you want to know the difference between the Angels pitchers, Jose Soriano has allowed a total of 3 runs this season. Our pitching staff over the last, I believe, 3 games has allowed 20, I think. I don't know how long he's going to be there. He's been, I'd argue, worse than the guys we let go the last 2 games. Drew Pomeranz is the reason the Angels lost to the Royals and the White Sox because he came in and gave up so much. Whew. All right. Eagles I'm having a fit over the Angels while everybody else talks about their teams that are either bad or marginally good. Why? Dude, Masson's shit is stupid. I'm just gonna say that right now. I'm gonna speak my truth. You have to have it in full screen or you don't get the full screen. Like, you cannot see it in its entirety unless it's full screen. And I don't understand that. I don't get why that's your choice here. Whatever. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Silseth has been meh. He'll have one really good outing, then he'll have a god awful one, then he'll have a good outing, then he'll be even worse than he was the one time. Our pitching is just terrible. Outside of our starters, I think Soriano's great. We have to trade him because we're going to get like 7 prospects for him. The dude is a legitimate Cy Young candidate right now. Kikuchi just has not been good this year, and now he's got a shoulder tightness issue. Reed Detmers has been solid. And Jack Kahanowitz actually looks pretty damn good. He has looked so much better than I anticipated this year, and I'm so happy about that. The Angels might actually have 3 decent starters. Might. We have to trade one of them so goddamn fast at the deadline. Well, maybe not. We should do it now because he's an actual Cy Young possible winner. We need to get like 47 prospects for him. It won't happen, but because everyone in the world knows how Artie Moreno works. Can't get rid of the golden fish. I saw he was already out. I turned it on and Isaac Paredes was coming up to bat, so I was like, fuck. Oh, Tiny Altuve just took a walk. Yeah, Bassett has been playing well. 52 pitches in the top of the 4th. He's doing pretty damn well for himself. Luckily, I should get probably 2 more at-bats with Jordan. I think I should get 2 more at-bats if my math's mathing. I'll at least get 1 more. Hopefully get 2. He's losing a bit of control, though, here. Alright, back to Edgeworth talking. He insisted he did it, but he would never say why. So that means he must still be hiding something. Right. And there's another aspect of the case that was never revealed to the public. Yeah, I know. The part about the spy, right? Right. How on earth do you know about that? Director Cosmos told me, after a bit of pressure. He told me espionage and sabotage were behind the Hat 1 miracle. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. I've always been good at keeping secrets. And I'm gonna knock a motherfucker out, don't worry. Look at these hands. That's what I feel like Pearl's doing. She's getting ready to just throw some hands. Well, I might as well tell you now. They really do suspect Blackquill of being a spy. Yeah, no. I can think of about, like, legitimately, I have more faith that Athena's a spy than Blackquill. If I'm being honest. They think he sabotaged the rocket and killed Dr. Sykes to steal the moon rock. Also, on the term of bad pitching, the Astros pitching has been god-awful. It's starting to get a little bit better now, but God, their pitching was bad to start the year. Oh, that's why they're so bad right now. In the standings, that is. But if you can prove that the Hat 2 bombing is the work of the same spy, we can stay the execution? It's a possibility. That's why I intended to help you any way I can. Story time! I love story time. Came home from work and went to feed your fish. You know, sun dairy on top. Building. Well, you go downstairs, grab your tank cleaning stuff, come back. Closer to the dirt, and this dirt was swimming. Turns out your angelfish made it and had over... Bruh, your whole house is just gonna be tanks of fish. Your whole house is just going to be a bunch of tanks of fish. You have become your own sea anemone. That's just what's happened. You've become a sea anemone. Holy fuck, that's a lot of eggs. That's a lot of fucking caviar. That's insanity. Not to mention, every time somebody says jackrabbits, my brain just goes to South Dakota State, and I don't. It's just weird because I think about their mascot, and then I imagine that image of the mascot when people say they fuck like jackrabbits. I'm like, what? Don't say that about South Dakota State. Dallas Goddard came from there. That's about all I know. Thanks, Edgeworth. Now all I have to do is comb this room for evidence. Let's do it together. Okay, well, Edgeworth, I appreciate it, my guy. You're looking great. I love the spectacles. You're still rocking the same hairdo, puffy shirt and everything. Good on you, man. Okay, let's figure this shit out. We've got a robot. Why can't I? Oh, there we go. This is where she was killed. Alright. I don't see anything that, like, obviously stands out. But, let's see. Let's start over here. It's about as cluttered as my office. I think it's a workbench. Mr. Nick, I think this must be a kitchen. Look at this photo. See the cute little food processor? Not a food processor, Pearl. I get what you're going for, not a food processor. Separate the babies because do not have the room for that much to basically survival of the fittest. Babies running from their dad from eating them. God damn. You do not want to know the visual in my head, because all I saw was the My Hero art style. It was the art style for My Hero, and you just walking in. Mom, you're a grandmother now. And then, of course, you know, you gotta do it in just the head turn, shocked expression, and Nani? Oh. Mom, you're a grandmother now. That's what we in the business call acting. Mom, you're a grandmother now. I just love the, like, anime pro tag voice and everything in there. Beat your ass. I just like the idea that you say that and her first thought is, how? When? Whoops. This isn't a food processor, Pearls. That's the Hope Capsule. It was scheduled to be loaded into the Hope space probe that fateful day. The 3 people who came to collect the capsule discovered the body. The first on the scene, huh? A staff member and 2 police officers, was it? Oh, do we think one of the officers was Detective Arm? I think it could have been. I don't remember how old she was. Do we have her in the court records? I want to see if I done did smarted a thing. She could have been a rookie. She could have been a rookie at 20. She could have been a rookie. I do love that Punko and Clonko are in the court records. I appreciate that. They were here to collect the capsule. Which reminds me. Which this is how you remind me of what I really am. Which reminds me of that time that Apollo was trying to get laid. Well, the O's are on the board. Apollo and Aura Blackwell. Wonder what they're talking about. Is Jeremiah Jackson utilizing the power of the Michael Jackson biopic coming out to, like, gain strength? Is that what's happening? You think about that? Maybe he's like, Andrew McCutcheon when the furry convention happens. Or like Jordan Love during Toyotathon. Edgeworth, did those 3 people have a bag with them for transporting the capsule? Oh, you mean this? It's a custom-made shock-resistant bag. But how did you know? Oh, I just overheard Apollo making an inquiry about it. That's all. Yeah, once again, their pitching has not been good. Their pitching has been very bad this year. I will say, I don't think... Has McCuthers returned? Has Lance McCuthers returned from injury? Because I don't think that's going to help their pitching enough. I think they are in probably a worse boat than the Angels are pitching-wise. Like, starting pitching-wise. I think they have better relievers. But starting pitching-wise, I think they're in a horrible boat. He sucks sense? Yep, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. I couldn't remember if he'd returned from injury or not. But yeah, they just don't have anything. I don't know about their prospects, but they got nothing. 6 runs given up on the 11th. 4 runs given up on the 18th. 5 runs given up on the 24th. God damn. He really has done terrible. Fuck. Yeah, there's your ace. There's your ace, well, actually, their ace is Hunter Brown. And even he's struggled at times. He probably has played the best of the bunch. So he's looking into the case from 7 years ago on his own, is he? The robot. This is one heck of a robot. There's something written on it. Is this supposed to be a poem? I cut down anyone who displeases me. I make the rules. I am the law. I'm not gonna lie, I was about to say, I am the law. Caw-caw! Because as we all know, because the game's on tonight at 8 o'clock, I think it's either 7 or 8. Call is the fucking law, and it's gonna hurt me to boo James Robinson tonight. It's gonna hurt my soul, but I gotta do it. Why the fuck does Tupac get a bobblehead? Why did I just turn my head and see Tupac as a bobblehead? The fuck? I wield the ultimate gavel of judgment. I am Judge Tron, JTO2. I don't believe we need to bother with that, Pearl. It's not even completed yet. He's right, Pearls. There's no sign of it in the photo from 7 years ago either. They were building the Hope space probe here at the time. The murder occurred after the space probe had been removed from the room. Gavel of Judgment? Diablo 3? Yeah, Pearl probably been playing it since it came out for free on PlayStation Plus, so yeah. She's probably playing some Diablo. Or is that Diablo 4? It might be Diablo 4, I'm thinking. But you can see the probe in this newspaper photo. Yes, and you can see the stolen moon rock there too. The strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture. Wait, that's the moon rock? Where's the shit? Where's the shit we seens? Where's the shit we saw? Where is it? Where is it? It was in the bomb! They put the moon rock in the bomb! In fucking sanity. May PS Plus free games, not good. FIFA 26. And Fallen Feathers and No 9 Souls. What did we, like, I'm cool with FIFA because I'll play it. Like, at least that's something I'll play for a little bit. Wait, when are we getting, like, a good story game? Like, when are we getting a solid AAA story title? Like, when are we getting that? The fuck, man. It's a Souls-like game, okay. I mean, that's not terrible, I guess. I mean, come on. We need another God of War in the lineup. We need another God of War in the lineup. Something like that. Give me a good AAA story game. Give me something, PlayStation. I'm okay with a sports game every now and again. You know, a FIFA, a 2K. Because, you know, beats having to pay for it. But give me a good story game that I don't have. That strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture? Note that the same rock is absent from the crime scene photo. So the person who stole it. Think it was our spy? I'm sure of it. Dr. Sykes was probably killed because she was a roadblock in their plan. Unfortunately, the government thinks Prosecutor Blackwell is the culprit. I like that was led to us by a Judge Tron. What's this? Looks like a giant power plug. It's attached to what looks like an electric vehicle charging station. Somebody was charging their Tesla in here. Squirrel with a gun. Oh god. Spider-Man 2 and Monster Hunter stories. I will say Spider-Man 2 would be worth it. Spider-Man 2 would probably be worth it. But you think I have the money to upgrade? I might, at one point, if, you know, point guards actually facilitated an offense, too. That would have helped. That would help. Actually, I want to know. I bet on Marcus Smart last night for assists. I want to know how many assists he came away with. Because it wasn't as many as I needed, I can tell you that much. He had one in the third quarter. And I'm like, how do you do that as a point guard? Your job is to facilitate. How does one not facilitate when point guard? Let me see. I may never know. Oh, he had 2. He had 2 all game. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. On a shit scale, pretty impressive. Parlay Chef's been cooking lately? Really? Really? Chef's been cooking lately. I have not. I've kind of been sticking to home runs lately. I need to, like, when I have bet money, I need to get back to just kind of doing watered downs. Just to build up stuff. That's a charging station for us robots. We come here periodically and charge ourselves up. Wow. Machines that maintain themselves? That's pretty cool. If our batteries run out and we lose consciousness, we never know what Miss Aura will do to us while we're down, you see? You talking Dan, or are you talking Parlay Chef? Because Chef, from what I've seen, he's gotten close on a handful lately. I normally water his down. Has he been doing picks of the day? I haven't seen him doing picks of the day. Let's see. Oh, different guy. Different guy. Yeah, okay. Different guy. There's 2 chefs then. There's 2 chefs. I follow a different chef. I'll follow this guy. Keep my eyes on him. Here, you know what? Should I keep my bet going with Jordan? Let me see if I can even cash out for like 50 cents. I could. Now, if he hits a home run, I'm going to be very upset. But I'm going to cash out for 52 cents. I lost 48 cents. I'll follow Parlay Chef today. I'll tail him. I'll tail him, see what I can make out of it. Or does he do a lot of just the kind of double your money plays? Because if that's the case, there's a good chance you'll hit on those. The double your money plays are essentially the ones that really help. Alright. So yeah, those normally, you have a good shot at those normally. Might have to try and use him for a ladder possibility. Nothing motivates quite like fear, huh? Not wrong. What's this? A giant robot arm, maybe? It's pretty big for an arm, but you're right. I think these thin parts here are finger bones. They're even about as long as my legs. And there's a spiked ball and giant drill on the floor, too. Is Aura trying to build some kind of weapon of mass destruction? Maybe she wants to use it to demolish a big building or something. I can picture her gleefully tearing down the street, doing just that. Yesterday, put 15 bucks into his 4-leg parlay and walked out with 38. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been following, I think it's Next Level Bets for home runs, and he's hit decently well. He hit a 4-leg home run parlay a couple days ago. And I was like, fuck, man. If only I had tailed that one. Oh, wow, that barely landed in bounds. Hey, look at this row of rolling cases. I bet the wheels make it easier for people to move heavy research materials around. I bet they'd be fun to ride around in. We could even probably both fit into the biggest one. I know, we could have Prosecutor Edgeworth push us. I don't trust him not to push us down a flight of stairs. You know what? Can we just point out, Phoenix has gotten smarter in his as he's aged. Because back in the day, I don't think he would have said that about him. Yeah, I saw Mackay Lemon signed his deal. He's the first rounder to be locked up. An emergency ladder. This must be the one they used during the evacuation. As Miss Blackwell was climbing down the side of the building, she saw the culprit inside. I wonder which would have been scarier, that or looking down. It looks like an operating table. It's in the photo, too. Yes, it was here then as well, with the victim's body lying on it. There's a button here. Oh, I know. I'll try pushing it. Pearls, don't touch that. Oopsie. Hey, it's moving. It appears to be a robot assembly device. Assemble anything in a flash. Push the dismantle button. That sounds pretty neat. Can I push it, Mr. Nick? Please don't push any more buttons, Pearls. Alright. Or his desk is a mess. Though that doesn't surprise me. Oh, I just want to dive in and straighten it up. Wait, before you do. It's Metapsychs. Clonco, can I talk to you? I really hope he's back to normal. Yeah, I saw that. Nah, not gonna lie, not a great place to host it. Because I know where they want to host it. In a very boring looking stadium. Just saying. I will say, as a man who's been to Nashville, they talk a lot of shit about how Nashville is really, like, you gotta go there. It's like two streets. That's all that's important with Nashville. I will say, though, from, like, living down there is probably pretty good because everything's very accessible. It's very compact. But, like, as a tourist, technically not a tourist at the time, but if you're a tourist just going there, there's only 2 streets. I went there for a church mission trip. And on said mission trip, we had a scavenger hunt to go find stuff, and they gave us clues. And one of the clues had to do with Jeff Fisher. And I'll have you know, I was the only one who knew anything about football, so I got that clue in a goddamn flash. And that was back when it was still LP Field. It hadn't become Nissan at the time. It's not a bad city, it's just, like, they talk like, you know, people talk a lot about Nashville being the biggest little city. I mean, I don't think it's worth the talk it gets, but I will say it's cool seeing, like, Bridgestone's right there, and just across the bridge is Nissan, which is pretty cool that they're that close. You can go to a Preds game and literally just a stone's throw away from a Titans game. That's pretty cool. And then the original Grand Ole Opry building's literally, you'll walk out of Bridgestone, look across the street, there's the original Grand Ole Opry. That's kind of cool. But outside of that, you can get a Starbucks on the other side of a church. That might be the most important thing. You walk out of church, cross the street, go get a Starbucks. Go get some Starbucks. Get your coffee, refresher, whatever you need. Baltimore said himself to Harvard and saw someone get gunned down right outside his hotel. Now that's a memorable experience. Okay, I think I've told this story before, but probably not everybody's heard it, so we're gonna tell it again. Speaking of mission trips, we went to Philly, and I was in the worst part of Philly, in Fishtown. And we were staying in the church. Guys were in the basement. Girls were up in the upper area of the church for sleeping purposes. And the night before we left, we were leaving in the morning. Apparently, none of us dudes heard it. But apparently a dude got stabbed right outside the church. Literally, the girls were the ones who called 911. Yeah, so that happened. They saw the whole thing happen, and they told us about it in the morning, and I'm not gonna lie, tiny bit jealous. There was also a bloody handprint on the street outside in the morning. That kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy. Yeah, so that happened. That was a fun time. Met some good people on that trip. All those mission trips. Met some good people. Anything else out of that trip? Nah. I mean, with Baltimore, you know, you walk outside, there's an 89% chance you get shot by a stray bullet that wasn't meant for you. So, I can't wait for Diego Pavia to be up there. That man's going to die so fast. Like, legitimately, if you told me that man got shot his first day in Baltimore, I would not be shocked. Like, Diego Pavia in Baltimore is a terrible idea. Also, I do find it funny. He's going to end up in the casino, get drunk, and try to box a member. Russian mob. Probably. But, it is funny how much he makes Johnny Manziel look like a Boy Scout. Dude, this... You know, I've never been so happy to not be the Astros. Their pitching is dog shit. You wish to speak to me, Mr. Wright? If you're going to hit me, please avoid the face area. Hey, don't put me in the same class as that woman. Damn, Phoenix. Everything on being Johnny Manziel just with less talent. I mean, I think attitude-wise, he's like worse than Manziel was. Manziel was cocky and flashed his money around, but he took football stuff serious. Like, he took the draft serious. That's a grand slam from Adley. That is an Adley Rushman grand slam. Look at that. Johnny took things serious, at least. But Diego doesn't take shit. He just thinks it should be handed to him. And that's... Yeah, no. The dude posted on Instagram, fuck the NFL. And then quickly deleted it. No, they didn't bring in the reliever. That was 12 pitch. That was his 12th pitch. That was Okert's 12th pitch. They didn't bring in a new pitcher after he loaded the bases. I'm a bit surprised. What was Aura like 7 years ago at the time of the incident? When Mother died, Miss Aura was confused. Huh? So he calls Dr. Sykes mother? Tell your children not to walk my way? But Aura Blackquill, Miss Aura. With the loss, she exhibited a severe... What the fuck is that? Catecholamines. Catecholamines are neurotransmitters and hormones, including dopamine, norepinephrine. Oh, so she went batshit insane? Oh no, never mind. I get it. She was depressed. You just couldn't put the right way of saying she was depressed. Because she had an imbalance of dopamine, so she wasn't happy. Yeah, okay, never mind. I got it. I'm started saying he should already start over Lamar. Oh, yeah, totally. 100% he's going to do that. 100% he's going to do that. Excuse me, But I have no idea what that means. I'm with Pearl. I had to look it up. Pardon me, searching for alternate expression. She would spend the nights crying and then take out her feelings on those around her. You know what? Get her a white monster, which I had a white monster for the first time the other day. Delicious. I understand now why everyone likes the white monster. It is delicious. Also, 10 milligrams less of caffeine than normal monster. Did not realize that. So that's a fun fact for you. But get her a white monster, turn on some Dear Agony, and she will be perfectly fine afterwards. Yeah, white monster, Dear Agony, let her sit in the shower. She'll be great. She'll be great after that, with the water running. Yeah, she'll be great after that. That's the way to do it. That's the way to go at it. Okay, I'm gonna watch this Jordan at bat, because if he homers right here, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. If he homers right here, I'm gonna be fucking pissed at myself. After Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty, she repeatedly demanded a retrial as well. That is correct, but without new evidence, her requests were ignored. And then, little by little, Miss Aura began to change. She started to hate it when I called her Mama Aura. And before long, she started hating the court system and abusing Clonco. Huh? That murder destroyed so many lives. Right. Take a look at this paper on Dr. Sykes and Miss Blackwell's research. Ponko and Clonco. They're the robots with hearts that Dr. Sykes created. Struck out. Damn. I'm happy I pulled the bet now. Happy I pulled that bet right now. He will get one more at-bat in the 9th, so. At worst. He'll get one more at-bat in the 9th. Hopefully he doesn't homer. Ponko series features can determine the presence of a human with their heartbeat detection system. The fuck? Yeah, he'll do it in game 2, which, like, I bet on game 1, so it wouldn't have mattered anyways. But yeah, he'll homer in the second of the back-to-backs. Recognizes people by scanning their spacesuit or uniform jacket ID tag. Can also recognize a person by facial features once the face has been registered. Can infer people's emotions by analyzing their tone of voice and communicate with them. That last one is the one that makes the most sense. The rest of them scare the shit out of me. A heartbeat detection system lets them determine when a human is present. In addition, they can recognize people by their ID tag or facial features. And they can infer people's emotions by analyzing their tone of voice. That's amazing. Hey, I don't know, Edgeworth. They might even be more human than you. What's that supposed to mean? It kind of sounds like these robots can do what Athena does. I mean, they're just bigger versions of Widget. Well, I guess that's about it for this room. So what do you think, Wright? Any ideas? There's still a lot of gaps in the evidence. But I'll put it off somehow. I'll pull it off somehow. After all, you asked me to prove Blackwell's innocence. Right, Edgeworth? What? He did? Yep. He called it a special request. He reached out to me while I was still disbarred. So that was what sparked you to get your attorney's badge back? Yep, the Blackwell case. Right. I have a special request. I want you to clear one of my subordinates of suspicion. Hey, I'm not even a lawyer anymore, remember? Haven't been one for a long time. I've been playing piano in a bar. That 8-year misunderstanding has been cleared up, and you must be eager to return. I'm sure you're familiar with the other case that ushered in the dark age of the law. Very soon, a convict will stand as a prosecutor in court. I want you to keep an eye on him. Oh, just when I'm beginning to actually like the job I have now. Right. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. Because of the espionage aspect, I wasn't free to give you all the details. Hey, no need to apologize. It's like I said on the phone the other day. I know that the type of criminals you're after... Had to do that to get the feels out. I know that the type of criminals you're after now aren't small fries anymore. Looks like your target finally decided to make a move. Yeah, it's for this very reason I returned. Time to bring it to an end. I'm going to end the dark age of the law because a fucking creepy-ass humanoid version of the statue from Solo Leveling wants to talk about how the end justifies the means. Fuck that shit. We're bringing it into it. That's what this is all about. Arise. The Dark Age of the Law. It sure comes up a lot these days on TV and in the papers. And I hear there are more false charges and fabrication of evidence than ever. When I became chief prosecutor, the court system had already lost the people's trust. It all began 8 years ago. A lawyer was caught fabricating evidence, and a year after that, a prosecutor was found guilty of murder. Wait, do you mean... That's right. That's right. He's talking about my case and Prosecutor Blackwell's. It was a downward spiral after that. An absolute nightmare. After those 2 cases, the mass media launched an all-out attack on the courts. Public opinion was tainted, and before long, the legal world itself was sucked into it. It's such a shame. Once suspicion forms, it's very hard to shake. Lawyers and prosecutors were supposed to trust each other, pursue the truth together. It's so sad when people begin to cast doubt. They start lying to themselves and each other. Yes, and do absolutely anything to win. We're in an age now where winning is valued far more than the truth. Too real, Phoenix. Too real. Am I right, boys? Too real. I'm sure it's caused our new chief prosecutor to lose many a night's rest. Is it just me, or did his brow get even more furrowed than the last time I saw him? The hostage-taker's disdain for the court is a perfect example of the times. It sure is. Do you have any idea who the hostage-taker might be? Well, somebody who mistrusts the court system and who can manipulate robots. It can really only be Aura Blackwell. Who else but her would want a retrial of that case from 7 years ago so badly? Simon Blackwell's older sister and the owner of this room. I agree with your conclusion. Perhaps she intended to force Miss Sykes to confess. Actually, I think she had a much more horrific plan in mind for Athena. The important thing is for you to solve UR1 and prove Blackwell's innocence. And then maybe she'll release the hostages. I'm counting on you, Wirght, to see that prosecutor and those hostages free. And I'll be counting on you in court to help me too. Of course, I'll do everything I can to help uncover the truth. As this isn't an official trial, I'm more at liberty to be a little unorthodox. Mr. Wirght, are you finished with your investigation? Yeah, but I'd like to tell the hostage taker I'd like you to tell the hostage taker something for me. I have to go to the detention center. I can't start the trial until I've talked to Athena. She's already given her consent. I'll accompany you to the detention center. So I'm still being watched, huh? I'll see you in court, Edgeworth. Even if it will be an undocumented trial, it'll be good to face you in court again. Oh man, we get to go toe to toe. We get to go one-on-one with the Great One again. Whew, gonna be a good time. She was right by my side only a few short hours ago. But I feel like I haven't seen her in ages. Oh, Mr. Wirght! And Pearly, too! I knew you would come! Oh god, they broke Athena! They broke Athena! Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. I don't think I can do the, like, Valley Girl-esque accent as Broken Matt Hardy. I don't think I can do that. I want to try, but I don't think I can do it. Let me focus here. Let me see if I can do this. Mr. Wirght, I knew you'd come. Yeah, I can't do that. I'm not gonna do that whole thing. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't think the Valley Girl accent really works for the, like, space you need to take, for Broken Matt Hardy. Because, like, if I'm to read this broken-wise, I'm gonna just be, I knew you'd come. Like, you gotta take those spaces in between words. And put, I don't think the Valley Girl accent allows me to do the real hit to everything either. After all, the first step is the interview with the defendant. And because you're my friend and I was worried about you. Thanks, boss. Not the only one who's worried either.
Really? Who else?
I saw Miss Woods today, too. She was so beside herself, she came to find me. She told me you used to live in the Cosmos Space Center. No wonder you knew so much about the place.
Oh. So, like, you know, huh? I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
That's alright, but there are some other things I'd like to ask you.
Sure, you can ask me anything. It's a Reddit AMA at this point. I promise I won't keep any more secrets from you.
The day of the crime. Tell me about the day Clay was murdered.
I was actually at the Space Center that day. And in the Space Museum.
Right where the culprit fled to? That's not good.
I never could fully deal with what happened 7 years ago. But when I saw the center again during the news coverage of the Hat 2 launch, I thought maybe if I went there, things would be different this time. That must have taken a lot of courage to face your past like that. So I went to the Space Museum the evening before the explosions. This was before the launch pads had been switched. There was a sign that said, "Closed for repairs," and they weren't letting anybody in.
Yeah, the director couldn't very well switch the pads if there were people in there.
But I snuck in anyway.
Did you want to see that Hat 1 group photo? The one with your mother in it?
I did. But what I really wanted to see was her jacket.
That jacket on display? That was Dr. Sykes? Oh. Well, that changes everything then. Because they said she got, stabbed through the heart. Although there's a slash mark on the jacket. That makes no sense if she got stabbed through the heart and they were too late. Because they give love a bad name.
But I should have known it wouldn't be easy to get over such a traumatic experience. The second I saw that jacket, it all came rushing back to me.
Came running back to me now.
Everything around me went hazy, and I couldn't see. I tried to get out of there somehow. But I guess I passed out. When I came to, I was in the passage behind the rocket. I was in the shadows, where people couldn't really see me.
Maybe you got confused and went the wrong way when you were trying to leave.
How long do you think you were unconscious, Athena? I was out until about noon of the next day. I didn't even know about the explosions.
The fuck? How were you out that long? You didn't just pass out. There was legitimate medical need that needed to be there. Like, what the fuck?
When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out into boarding lounge 2. My mind must have still been fuzzy, because my memory is vague after that. I don't remember how I got home.
No memory, huh? Athena, you didn't pass out. You were in a mini coma. Widget was probably like, brain function ceasing. Or wait, let me do Widget's proper voice. Brain functions are fucking ceasing. You're fucking dying over here. Because he's meatwad. This is gonna be tough.
Which means, what if I'm the one who killed Clay?
I think that's enough of that, Athena. Let's talk about something else.
So, during the entire incident, she was unconscious in the Space Museum.
Oh God, what the hell?
Yawn came out of nowhere. That was like a fucking RKO. Of course I believe her. But will anybody else? Dude, give Bassett credit. He's about to get through 7 if this continues. He only needs one more out to get through 7. And then your relief pitching is going to have to not allow a home run from Yordan to make me feel good about cashing out. What kind of research was... Okay, I see. I was confused for a second. What kind of research was Dr. Sykes, your mother, doing? Machines that could tell people's emotions by their tone of voice. And my special ability. Someday when people travel to distant planets, their companions will be robots. So she said they had to be able to understand how their human companions felt. So what you're telling me is one day they were like, we're going to send robots up into space. You think that was a good idea? Did they watch a Space Oddity? Or a Space Odyssey? Like, that is not a good idea. Did you not see what happened with Hal? Like, come on. Uh-oh. Bassett giving up a run. Might be the end of the day for him. I can't do that. The robots are gonna turn, man. So she said they had to be able to understand how their human companions felt. Wow, robots that can understand people? I was just a convenient subject for her research. Oh. Oh, that comes off weird. Okay. I'm thrown off now because she seems very, she seems very distraught about her mother's death and all that, but like this line right here comes off very much like she was not a fan of what her mother was doing. So it's weird. This is a weird line. All she ever did was work. She never paid any attention to me. This is strange. This is strange because you don't give off the feeling that this is what happened. Oh, sorry about that. Dredging up all that old stuff. No need to apologize. Guess her home life was complicated. Oh, by the way, Miss Woods said something about you always wear headphones. I had to wear them every time I went out. I hated them so much, but she wouldn't listen. That bitch. What were they for? Oh, she gave me some kind of explanation. But I don't remember now. It was too difficult for a little kid to understand. Okay. But let me say this one thing. I don't think your mother only thought of you as some handy subject for her research. I want to believe that. But just about the only things my mother left me with are widget and this earring. Oh, well, Garcia got out of it real quick.
We'll have to face Jordan at the start of the 8th, though.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's made of a piece of real moon rock she had for research. Maybe she did love me. In her own way. I'm sure of it. I'm really sure she did. God, my reading is terrible now. Because that's what I want to believe too. We got moon rock earring. It's made of moon rock. Better ask her a little more about her mother's research. Should show her that paper I found in the robotics lab. Yo, Athena. Look at this graph. Oh, the Ponko series. You must have gone to the robotics lab. You seem to really love Ponko and Clonco. Yeah, my mother made them, and I grew up around them, you know. I will say, I've watched a little bit of Digimon Beat Break, so now whenever I hear someone say, you know, I just go to Geckomon, and, like, all I hear is Geckomon's voice going, you know? Because he ends every sentence with, you know? Also, he makes like a blood bond with Pandamon, and it's both very sentimental and funny at the same time, because the idea of a gecko and a panda becoming blood brothers is hilarious. Oh, there's one of these cute little robots in this photo too. See, Punko's bandages? I put those on her. I just wound them around and around. Pretty bad job, huh? I really put up my all into it. Okay, well that answers my question on one thing. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Because I was wondering what the hell that arm was. That is Punko's arm. I did not realize it. Good to know now. I hardly left the center in those days, so I didn't have any human friends besides Junie. I didn't really understand the difference between robots and people back then. I thought that if a robot broke, bandaging it would help it get better. What a weirdo I was. Looks like there's something written on the bandages. Yeah, I wrote stuff like, get well soon, Punko. But in the end, Mom just put her on the operating table and fixed her up in a flash. Oh, that must be the thing I made move in the robotics lab. I was so impressed by what my mom did. I even asked her if she would put me on the table and fix me if I ever got hurt. It looked just like magic to me, what she could do. A little girl who grew up around robots. She seems to have some good memories of it. But now comes the part where we get probably some emotion involved. 7 years ago. On a different subject, did you hear about the person holding up the Space Center? Yes, a little. And this person has even taken hostages? I guess I'd better spare her the news about Trucy. Oh God, somebody lost a wrapper to their food. Oh God. It's on the field of play. Oh God. Somebody's gonna die. It looked like a Popeyes wrapper too. At least that's what I thought it was. Well, after some negotiating, we agreed to do a retrial of the case from 7 years ago. What? You're kidding me. So that means Prosecutor Blackwell might... Yup. I know he's innocent. I just have to prove it. So, wait. Did you know him back then? Yes. He used to come visit my mom a lot. Like, a lot. It was really weird at times. He'd studied psychology under her and would sometimes ask for advice on his legal cases. He spent way too much time around her. It was weird to me. He was very kind and considerate, and straight as an arrow. What? I get the way they're using it, but that line now means something entirely different in the year of our Lord 2026. Unlike now, where he's more twisted than a basket of snakes. That's why I took the witness stand during his trial 7 years ago. Young Athena, so probably not Valley Girl accent. Please, you have to listen to me. She was like, what, 7, I think, at the time, she said? No, 7 years ago, so she was 11. Okay, so she's Pearl's age. Okay. Right? She's Pearl's age at this point. No, never mind. Pearl's only 1 year younger than her. I feel old. The game's making me feel old now. He didn't kill her. His heart is screaming that he didn't kill her. I was a fool. How could anybody else know what I was talking about? She heard the voice of his heart. You were only 11 then, right? You were just brave. You were only 11 then, right? You were very brave just to give testimony. Pearls is right. You did the very best you could at that time. But nothing I said did any good. I was a shaking and scared little girl. Small and ineffectual. Even after I went to live with my relatives in Europe, I stayed closed up in my shell. But you're different now. You're always so bright and cheerful. Thanks. That's because one day I came to realize that I had to fight. I couldn't give up. She became a fan of John Cena. I exercised hard, and I studied hard, and I learned that you can't see me. I wanted to become the strongest lawyer I could be. Oh, walked in a run. I wanted to save Simon, but I had no idea how. Then I met Mr. Wright, and thanks to him, I realized that if I became a lawyer, I could prove that Simon was innocent. I also realized that psychology could help me do this. I mean, psychology was my mother's specialty. When I studied it, I felt like she was there with me, supporting me. Doesn't seem like Athena knows. Prosecutor Blackwell is due to be executed tomorrow. Dear Lord, oh my God. Bruh, poor. I kind of feel bad for the Astros a bit here. Lord, this is a killing. I want to know, what's the price to be in the bird bath? Like, is it do you have to pay higher prices to sit in the bird bath? I feel like it's higher price to sit in the bird bath. I wanted to prove Simon's innocence, personally. I wanted to do it so bad. Even now. I want to fly out here and go save him. Ooh. Oh. Gives up the grand slam, and now they're done. Come to think of it, she said something like that during the Themis Legal Academy trial. She mentioned there was somebody she wanted to save. Not that expensive, about 60 to 110 per ticket. I'm talking like comparative to other seats. I will say, if you're gonna go to a sporting event, normally baseball is arguably the cheapest. Out of like the big four. Maybe soccer might be the cheapest. I don't know. I've never seen soccer prices. But I would think baseball is probably the cheapest ticket-wise. She must have been talking about Prosecutor Blackwell. What is this Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack right now? Am I the only one who hears the Danny Elfman in this soundtrack right now? I heard some prison guards say that you had an interview with Simon. How was he? What'd he say? No. I can't tell her. How can I lie to Athena? He was doing well. He was happy about the possibility of being proven innocent. He was? I wonder if he smiled like he used to. Back then. If I can't prove Prosecutor Blackwell's innocence in this trial, I don't think Athena will ever forgive me. I just have to free him. Failure is not an option here. Holy shit! Fulbright! Oh, I thought you... Bruh. Dude, I was doing it, and then I just lost everything. The train went off the tracks. Alright, let me see the Jordan Alvarez at bat. And then I'm going to grab a beverage just because I'm going to need it. Did they give out wings for something? I just saw the tweets about the wings. What's the free thing for the O's? Because every team's got like a free thing they get if something happens. What's the O's thing? And Jordan flies out. Yep. I'm glad I pulled my money and only lost 48 cents. Glad I did that. So, I could bet the 52 cents. Expensive. Top seats typically. Top section tickets usually 25-30. Middle 40 to 60. Near home plates 100 to 130. Bird bath is 60 to 110. The left side is like 70. That's not bad at all then for bird bath. I thought it was going to be even. I thought it was going to either fully match or be exactly, or fully match or be more than home plate. But that's cool that the bird bath is like decently priced. Ah, I thought you might be here, Mr. Lawyer. We're in trouble. We are? What is it? I couldn't find a single open courtroom. They're all in session.
Oh no, but this is an emergency.
It's very difficult to interrupt a trial once it's underway. That fucking ringtone, though! My phone! It's from Trucy. I'm gonna assume it's Aura, but it could also be Apollo, since he's gone to the dark side. Because we have cookies. I told you I'd give you 1 hour. I guess it's time to pick one of the hostages. No, wait. We still have a little more time. Besides, all of the courtrooms are being used right now. Make all the excuses you want, but you won't get more time. Your daughter is first. The poor thing. She's a little too young to die, don't you think? No! Don't you dare hurt her. There has to be something I can do. The cruelest injustice is about to befall us.
No, this can't be happening. Mystic Maya, help us.
Wait a minute. Maya? Yeah, man. The mayor, he can go as long as he wants. Don't question the power of the mayor. I'm mad that he's going back to Baltimore because I really think they're just going to play him, like, very little. Because, like, where do you play him? He plays Matabike's role. I guess having him is good if Matabike gets hurt again, which is probably what they're more worried about. Because when they lost Matabike, I mean, their line fell to fucking shambles. So, maybe that's the thought process of bringing him back. I read somewhere that you were holding a trial in the middle of an exploding courtroom. That must have really been what? We read this. We've read Maya's writing before. Courtroom. Blew up. That's it. There is a courtroom we can use after all. Okay, time's up. Too bad. Any last words you'd like to say to her? That's weird last words there, Phoenix. Aura, please don't add to the crimes you've already committed. So you know who I am, do you? It wasn't like I was trying to keep it a secret anyway. We're ready to start the trial. We can hold it in the ruins of courtroom number 4. The one blown up by the bomber.
Oh, what a wonderful idea, Mr. Nick.
I never thought of that! An astonishing trial in an astonishing location. I guess it's only befitting I'll go get the place ready right away. I didn't exactly pick the place for its astonishing factor. How about it? Are you ready to have your brother's innocence proven? My brother? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget to mention? It's not Simon you'll be defending. What? Not Prosecutor Blackwell? I indict Athena Sykes on the charge of murdering her own mother. Well, I did not see that coming. You'll be defending the little princess there, the one behind the glass. What? See you in that mountain of rubble you've chosen for... See you in the mountain of rubble. See you in the mountain of rubble you've chosen for our courtroom, Mr. Wright. What is she talking about, Athena? Of course. Why didn't it ever occur to me before? If Prosecutor Blackwell is innocent, somebody else had to have been the true culprit. Did I kill my own mother? No. No! Oh, God. No way. It can't be true. Mr. Nick, what's the matter? I see 5 black psyche locks. I've seen these kind of locks before. Dark. Black locks protecting a secret hidden deep inside a person's heart. And there's no way to remove them. Woo! That was a good ending. That was a good fucking end to that section. Woo! That was good. I am not gonna lie. Hey, I got a notification of my own live stream. I legitimately did not expect that at the end. Alright, I'm going to grab something to drink, and we are going to go for 1 more hour, see what we can get through with the trial, see how much of the trial we can get through. Talk to the couch while I'm gone. I'm sure the couch has very interesting stuff to talk about. I don't know. Maybe. I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, I'm back. Let's see what fun fact we're going to learn together. A suction cup will not work in outer space.
So there's your fun fact for today. Go tell random people that do not care about it. Alright, let's go. December 20th, 3:11 p.m. Not the band. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 5.
I did a little research. I looked into those special psyche locks you mentioned, Mr. Nick.
You did? That's great. I really appreciate it.
A red psyche lock protects a secret a person is consciously trying to hide. If the person folds under questioning, the lock breaks and the truth comes out.
Yep, that's exactly how I got the truth out of Detective Fulbright and Director Cosmos.
But a black psyche lock protects a secret from the deepest place in a person's heart. A secret that the person isn't even consciously aware of.
So even they don't know it's there? This irresponsible Pearl is just trippy. Dude, like, you want to talk about, like, feeling old is saying, like, you know, like your friends' kids growing up or shit like that. That starts to make you feel old. Seeing Pearl's now 17 after we spent so much time with her at, like, 7, that automatically makes me feel old because it's been a little while since we played those games. So I'm like, bro, I feel like we legitimately we haven't seen her in years, so it feels like she just aged and we didn't get to see her. So it makes me feel old.
Athena isn't trying to keep anything from you on purpose. For some reason, part of her heart and her memories are sealed off, even from herself.
Okay. So all I have to do is break the psyche locks.
According to my research, a black psyche lock is like a heavy chain wrapped directly around one's heart. If they are ripped off by force, it could cause permanent damage to a person's soul.
In other words, if I'm not careful, I could traumatize Athena for good. Pearls, could you stay by Athena's side? She must be suffering under the weight of such a heavy burden.
Alright, but will you be alright by yourself, Mr. Nick?
I'm up against Edgeworth. I have to be able to give this trial all of my focus and strength.
You can't do that if I'm there. I'll just hold you back.
No, that's not it. I just meant I can relax and concentrate if I knew you were with Athena. You're the only one who can do it, Pearls.
Alright, I'll do it then. Good luck, Mr. Nick.
Good. Now my mind is at ease. I'd better get ready. I'll just tidy up the evidence and take out what I don't need. It's time to end this nightmare that started 7 years ago. Defense, prosecution, and judge. There are even people in the gallery. The roof has been completely blown off, and the walls have collapsed. But today, this ruin is my battleground. Oh, that's cool as shit. I love that. And we are starting with a robot at the stand. Court, or some facsimile thereof is now in session for the trial of Athena Sykes. Oh, okay, that is Aura. Because she's staying with the... Okay.
Not a facsimile. Not a facsimile, old man. This is a proper official trial. Take this more seriously, or you'll start hearing the bones of the hostages snap.
Please try not to upset Miss Blackwell. I'm begging you.
Court is now in session for the very serious and very proper trial of Athena Sykes. This is no trial. This is nothing more than a ridiculous farce. What did you say?
Edgeworth, did you not hear what I just said to His Honor?
However, this ridiculous farce has a very important meaning for our legal system. Recall the case of the UR1 incident, in which a prosecutor was found guilty of murder. That case ushered in the odious dark age of the law. I see what you're after. If we can find the real truth behind the case today. Precisely. The darkness will be dispelled, and glory shall be restored to the court system. Prosecutor Edgeworth, sound as if you know something of this truth. I do indeed. A new suspect has emerged in the UR1 case. For 7 years, Simon Blackwell has refused to speak in order to cover for someone else. Brace yourself, Phoenix. Here it comes. I'm sorry, Wright, but the situation is what it is, and I must do what I must. Funny thing they're doing for the Defenders game this week, during the third quarter, the play-by-play is going to be called from the Beer Snake section. Oh my god, that's awesome. That's fucking awesome. I love that. When's that game? When? Yes. Is that Saturday or Sunday? Because I don't think it's Friday's game. More sports. Scores. What? Maybe it is. It is Saturday's game. Okay. Ooh, that's on ABC. Okay, so I can watch it later. Okay, that's good. I gotta see if I'm gonna be upset here for a second. Let me see this Detroit game. Okay, no homers, so I'm not mad that nobody who I needed to homer yesterday homered. Fucking shit, Brandon Lau homered. Needed him to homer yesterday. Alright. That's the only one that was like, oh, I needed that guy yesterday. Oh, here's the real interesting one. Because if a certain player homered today, I'm going to be real pissed. He did not. We're okay. I'm not mad. I was going to be real pissed if Sal Stewart homered today. I was just going to be fucking furious. The prosecution moves to indict Athena Sykes on the count of murder in the first degree. Oh shit, Animu.
Regardless the circumstance, I intend to question the defendant with all I have. For that is a part of my creed.
Then you'd better bring it.
If the two of you are ready. Court is now in session for the trial of Athena Sykes.
Your Honor, the defense was born ready.
The prosecution is also ready.
Okay, is my judge better than Animu judge? I'd argue my judge is better. He's a little too serious in Animu form. I'd argue my judge is better. I'd argue the Sean Connery judge is better. There's immense tension between us. It's like we're picking up right where we left off. It's my duty to clear Prosecutor Blackwell of false accusations and end this insanity. Agreed? Yeah, I get a win. It is official. CDW should be the voice actor for the judge. Phoenix Wright. We have now made it official that there is one character I probably should voice act. But I have no intention of losing Miss Sykes either. She's a very promising young lawyer. I know without a doubt that Athena is innocent. But I don't think Prosecutor Blackwell did it either. The true culprit is a spy. It's going to be hard to convince anyone of that when I barely believe it myself. But I don't have a choice. If I want to save Athena and Blackwell and expose the spy. It was Lord Forger. We all know this. Come on. It was Lloyd Forger. Obviously. Now then, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. No need for the Chief Prosecutor bit, Your Honor. I am here as a simple prosecutor. Very well. Your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Although, I've been known of late to give an impressive opening statement myself. It's pretty damn good, I'll just say that. You might be jealous. In all the trials I have ever seen, only the prosecution gives an opening statement. Oh, of course. You're right. I was just joking. Just having a little fun. That's it. That's all. So he wasn't doing them just out of fear? Interesting. What, do I need to check Twitter, Jaren? Do I need to check Twitter? Oh, his voice actor is fucking Knuckles in Sonic Shadow Generation? Really? Really? So what we're saying is I'm a better Judge voice actor than the guy that voices Knuckles in Sonic and Shadow Generations. Insanity. Okay, I'm sorry, but Ben Diskin does not look like he would voice Black Doom, and I love that. Oh, and also if the rumors of Silver being the next one to show up in a Sonic movie, if that's true, Bryce Papenbrook better keep the job. They do not give that job to anyone else. He gets to still be he still gets to be Silver. Don't take that away from that man. Okay. What else have you done, Dave B. Mitchell? Oh, he was Shocker in Spider-Man. Huh. Well, he was in Love, Death, and Robots. Love that series.
Also, he was in Arcane. Good for him. He's got a really good catalog here. Oh, he's Fulbright. He's Judge Ann Fulbright. He's Tenmyoji in VLR. So he plays a lot of older characters, which is a little surprising. He's got a good catalog though. Good for him. Let's see what else we got. He was additional voices in Ragnarok. Oh man, he was in the Curious George game. Or he was in the Curious George TV series. Can't get better than that now, can you? He's got a lot here. He's got a lot here on his resume. Good on him. Oh, he's Sector in Mortal Kombat 11. Nice. Let's start with a brief overview of the UR1 incident. The incident occurred at the Cosmos Space Center 7 years ago, on October 7th. The victim, psychologist Metis Sykes, was killed in the robotics lab on the 4th floor. Athena's mother. Simon Blackwell, a young prosecutor at the time, was found guilty of the crime. There were two deciding factors that led to his guilty verdict. One, Blackwell was the only person in the corridor to the lab at the time of the murder. And two, this photo, which captured the moment of the crime. Chris Ballard said he'd be fine if the NFL made the first round draft clock 5 minutes. I don't think you go lower than 7, but I can understand them doing it. I think the first round, you kind of have an idea of who you're taking. In my opinion, the way the draft kind of works is you just follow your board. For most teams, I think they just follow their board normally. Unless somebody magically falls or something, then they might change up. I think most teams just follow their board. So really, the time, I don't think is the biggest factor. Very incriminating evidence indeed. I mean, look, he's got a bloody sword and everything. It would appear that the only conclusion is that Prosecutor Blackwell did indeed. Are you kidding me? I'm not accepting any conclusion of that kind. This opening statement is over. Now, hurry up and call the witness. Excuse me, Miss Blackwell, but we must follow proper procedure for these things, you know. Or perhaps we should heed her wishes, Your Honor. She is the trial's sponsor, after all. Besides, the courtroom is chilly, and sitting for too long can't be good for your back. Oh! You are very kind to show such concern for the welfare of the elderly. I will say, I've been doing these stretches from a guy named Diamond Dallas Page, and man, I have never felt better. As skilled as ever at playing the court puppeteer, I see. The prosecution calls its first witness. A witness who decided to bring forth new testimony after 7 long years.
New testimony? And just who is this witness anyway? Bobby Fulbright's the name. In justice we trust. I like that my whole idea for Fulbright and the judge is just the impersonation I can do of what's his name? But I've forgotten his name now. The James Bond actor. If I could do Sean Connery, there we go. I got it. He's just a Sean Connery impersonation, and all Bobby Fulbright is me trying my best Chris Sabat All Might. That's really all the two are. Which I've gotten just too good at the Sean Connery impersonation. That's why he feels a little more natural. What are you doing here? I'm just here to speak for the hostage taker, Miss Aura Blackquill. She says she's too busy with what with confining and threatening the hostages and all. That doesn't seem to stop her from constantly chiming in through Clone Co. I'm nothing more than an observer in this. Do your best. I'm watching you. Believing her brother innocent, Miss Blackquill has been conducting her own investigation. And though her current actions are hardly lawful, I think we can at least hear her theory. I have here Miss Blackwill's notes on the investigation she conducted. And I'll be giving testimony based on these notes. Here I go. Simon isn't the murderer. He was trying to cover for someone. Someone else was at the scene at the time they say Simon committed the murder. Got reminded of funny memories of last season during Raiders camp. Posted that Blue Kelly and JT Woods were getting snaps over Bennett. Meanwhile, Bennett was traded, yeah. Kelly survived the entire year, and JT survived the practice squad until late October. Yep. I mean, it's how everything goes with the fan bases. Is people are like, well, no, this person did this, so they have to be played, because obviously, I'm like, it's all scheme based. It's whoever fits the scheme is probably gonna play. That's why, literally, looking back at the Jags draft, I understand it more now than I did when they drafted most of the players. Came after my shit for saying that man turns out I just called it. Yep. Oh, fun fact, apparently the tight end the Jags took, he was gonna go apparently in like 10 picks if they didn't take him. He was going to be a second round pick. Which is absolute insanity. So the Jags just took him at the right time because they weren't going to get him if they didn't take him. Word was he was not going to survive the second round. So. Like, that run on tight ends was happening. And he was going to be part of it. While out in Philly, he was in his corner, and now he'll be great somewhere else. He started all of one game. Yep. I will say, I'm disappointed Jacorian Bennett has kind of just been lackluster. Because, I mean, skill set wise, you think he would be in the right scheme really good. Just hasn't manifested. I mean, if he really was out to steal that moon rock, then why the rolling case? Because he was using it to hide someone inside. That's why. And the only person small enough to fit inside that case was Athena Sykes. And that's Miss Blackwell's theory. It totally goes in the face of the official ruling, huh? About the case she mentions. There were other rolling cases like that one in the lab. But they're not for traveling. They're apparently for moving parts and equipment. I vaguely remember seeing 3 cases, all different sizes. At the last trial, they thought that Prosecutor Blackwell used the case to steal the rock. And they had a perfectly good reason to think that, too. You see, there's a security camera in the corridor that leads to the robotics lab. In the camera captured footage of Blackwell leaving the scene with the case. I can see why that footage helped to bring his trial to a quick end. It's very convincing, that's for sure. Oh yeah. I'd be shocked if most kids don't love Danhausen. I will say they have done Danhausen perfect. Like, he's not doing much. He's mainly there to make jokes, comedy act. They have done exactly what they needed to do with Danhausen, and he's 3rd in merch sales behind Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. I think he's doing fantastic. I will say, did you hear about the reason why they fired Kyrie? Because it's the stupidest reason. It is the dumbest reason. They fired her because she said she kind of wants to move back to Japan. That's why. That's it. That's why she was released. At least, reportedly. Ooh, we're getting a lot of rookies getting signed here. That case, by the way, was later discovered outside on the Space Center grounds. That's how, explained to his daughter that Danhausen stole her bike. Know what the weird part is? Daughter, I was like, sweetheart, Danhausen stole your bike. She goes, that's okay. You'll just give me a new one? She's probably not wrong either. She's probably not wrong either. Speaking of after the incident, where was the defendant Athena Sykes found? She was found on the 5th floor of the Space Center in the Sykes family residence. Prosecutor Blackwell most likely brought her there after the incident. In addition, it's unknown where Miss Sykes was at the estimated time of death. Miss Sykes was too confused by the shock of her mother's death to give proper testimony, and there was no witness or evidence to tell us where she might have been. So what you're saying is, Miss Sykes didn't have an alibi. That is what the evidence is saying. Yes. I understand the reasoning behind the theory, but I'm far from convinced. The victim is the accused mother. Are you actually claiming an 11-year-old girl? Of course the girl had a very strong motive. Dr. Sykes was a psychologist who wrote many papers about speech and emotions. You're aware of Athena Sykes' special ability, aren't you, Your Honor? Are you referring to the therapy thing? Yes, she's done it quite a few times in court. The ability to read emotions from speech and the subject of her mother's research. Well, as long as it benefits society, I don't see any particular problem researching it.
I don't like where this is heading. Not one bit.
Dr. Sykes was so intent on her research, she forced her daughter to undergo experiments. Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you seriously suggesting? I've done my best to be delicate, but even you can't deny it to be true, Mr. Wright. No longer able to withstand the anguish of the experiments, Miss Sykes felt her only choice was to kill her own mother. Order! Order in the court! What a tragic story. I hardly want to believe it myself, but I am gonna put a touch of it into my fanfic. Just gotta get that emotion right. But we must proceed. Mr. Wright, if you could, Detective Fulbright, please refer to the notes.
Alright, let's see what we can get out of this man.
Hold it!
So, Prosecutor Blackwell willingly accepted a death sentence to protect someone else?
Yes, that is precisely what Miss Blackwell appears to believe.
And that is what I believe as well. Prosecutor Blackwell is no murderer, Mr. Wright. But Athena Sykes certainly didn't kill anyone either, Mr. Edgeworth. So it appears neither of us can afford to go easy on the other. Fine. I expected no less.
Oh, I remember this tense atmosphere. It's so invigorating. I'm only reading notes here, but yeah, I feel extra invigorated too. So let's keep going.
Hold it!
But that's just speculation.
Objection!
No, Miss Blackwell has proper guards for her claim, has proper grounds for her claims.
Objection!
Oh, we're getting the back and forth now. Who's ready for some volleyball with objections? Then why didn't you say so in the first place?
Objection!
You're the one who screamed, "Hold it," and cut me off. Fine. So maybe I jumped the gun by a teeny weeny bit.
Now I know what they mean when they say close enough to argue. Moving on.
Hold it!
This rolling case, I suppose you mean the one that existed in the photo with Prosecutor Blackwell in it? Okay. So it's the tall one, got it. But was absent when the crime scene photos were taken.
Yes, that's the one. And Miss Blackwell has drawn a conclusion from those 2 photos. She has? And what is that conclusion? You're the one with her notes. Oh, right. Of course. Reading them now. So why was the rolling case?
Hold it!
And how do you propose he hid a person inside one of those cases? Have you forgotten what we saw just such a thing only the other day? At your own daughter's magic show. She fit a grown person into a small box. Can we just say this? Uncle Edgeworth here, going to see Trucy's magic show. That's fucking awesome. Edgeworth, totally the cool uncle, but he plays it off real smooth like. He doesn't want people to know he's the cool uncle. It's totally what Edgeworth is. Totally what he is. Oh yeah! Way to ruin the memory of a good day! A magic show? I wish you would have thought to invite me. I love magic. Actually, I would have liked to go too. He's absolutely the cool uncle who spoils his niece. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Trucy, anytime Trucy's hanging out with Uncle Edgeworth, it's just... It's literally just, like, I got a new magic trick to show you, Uncle Edgeworth. And he's like, let me see, what exactly is it? He's just down to see whatever the magic trick is. Phoenix, Edward, Fulbright, and the judge just chilling. And they're just sitting there having a good time, watching a magic show at the Magic Castle. They're just chilling there, having some drinks. Oh, a fine glass of scotch. My personal favorite. I'm more of a wine man myself. You're all absolute idiots. You know, I'll just take, you know, some grape juice. My apologies. I'll invite you both next time. I promise. So, wait a minute. What were we talking about again? Prosecutor Blackwell was using the case to hide someone.
Hold it!
But that's nothing more than conjecture, and it's hardly the only possibility. In that case, what do you think Prosecutor Blackwell had in that case? I think it was... the moon rock.
Objection!
There were 3 cases at the scene, but Prosecutor Blackwell used the largest one. The moon rock was egg-shaped and only about 8 inches in diameter. It wouldn't have made any sense to use the largest case there just to move that rock.
Objection!
Be that as it may, it doesn't prove Miss Sykes was inside. Then let me ask you this. Can you come up with a better theory of what was in the case? Well, Miss Wright, can you? Yikes. Give a guy some time to think. Let's see. Should I try to bluff my way through what could have been in the case? I mean, I think bluffing is the best way right now because we really don't have a surefire guess. I think, at this point. So, I think we are going to bluff. I know exactly what Prosecutor Blackwell carried from the scene. Just had to find something else that was missing, right? No sweat! Oh, yeah, I'd be very interested in hearing your theory, if it's true, that is. This is a crime scene photo taken after Prosecutor Blackwell left, correct? All we have to do is compare this with this photo of Prosecutor Blackwell to see what's missing. If he took something with him, then it should be in one of these photos. Lady Luck, don't fail me now. All right then, Mr. Wright. Let us hear your theory. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Okay, the katana's there, so we didn't take that. Is it really what I think it is? There's no way I jokingly was about to be right. There's no fucking way I was gonna make a joke and was going to be right. There's no way. Okay, I was gonna joke that he took the screwdriver, and there's no yellow screwdriver in the image. Also, the arm is not here, either. So that's also a possibility. But I was going to say the screwdriver just because I was going to be like, he just took the screwdriver and threw it into the really big thing. But this is the one thing that is large enough for it.
Take that!
Also not in the photo. Please notice that there's a robot part on top of the cart in this photo. However, in this photo taken after the crime, that robot part is gone. In other words, this part is something that was taken from the scene of the crime. You do appear to be right. I don't see it in the second picture. But it's just a piece of junk. How important could it be? Is it really just an insignificant robot part? Speaking of which... What are you looking at? I'm gonna start charging for each glance per eyeball. Stingy, stingy. What happened to the age of free previews? Your Honor, about this robot part. Doesn't it look like it could be an arm from that robot there? Well, now that you mention it, it does, doesn't it? But the case is still too big to be particular. The case is still too big to be practical for just the moon rock and an robot arm. But was it really just the one arm that was in there? If it wasn't Athena in the case, then maybe. I believe there was another robot at the scene that looks just like the one here. Your Honor, it is the defense's assertion that it was this other robot that was in the case. What?
Objection!
We can't be certain that part belonged to a robot. Yes, it looks like the arm of the one before us, but it could be something else entirely. Besides, it's wrapped entirely in bandaging, making it difficult to verify what it is.
Objection!
Do I have evidence for that? I know for a fact that it is a robot arm. I can even tell which robot it belonged to, just by looking at it. With this information, we can investigate whether it was there at the time or not. But, Mr. Wright, I thought you were more of the technologically illiterate type. When did you become such an expert? I feel somehow abandoned. Not to worry, Your Honor. I still know next to nothing about machines. But I know this piece of evidence proves which robot the arm belonged to. Yep, that's it.
Take that!
The robot in this picture is named Punko. But take a look at Punko's arm. It was Miss Sykes who bandaged it up like that. She must have thought that machines heal in the same way that people do. What an adorable, naive mistake. It reminds me of my own grandchild. She's dumb as hell, too. The robot arm at the crime scene had the same bandaging wrapped around it. In other words, this robot arm could belong to none other than Punko. It's called character development. That's how he knows about machines now, Judge. Character development. Order! Order in the court! Order, I say! Prosecutor Edgeworth, what do you have to say to this? I concede that the robot is about the same size as a child, but it cannot grab its knees and curl itself up into a ball. Even if it was the largest of the cases, the robot couldn't have possibly fit in there. The case does come up to about mid-thigh on Prosecutor Blackwell. No, that was the judge. That was the judge. Let me do that again. The case does come up to about mid-thigh on Prosecutor Blackwell. I see your point. The robot is much taller than that. They've got me there. So then, did Prosecutor Blackwell make Punko fit into the case by dismantling her? More than likely. We'll save real quick. Of course Punko would fit. All Prosecutor Blackwell had to do was dismantle her. Once taken apart, the robot could have easily fit inside that rolling case. I'm not gonna lie, I entirely forgot that there was a dismantle button on the machine. Sounds rather violent. But Mr. Wright does have a point there.
Objection!
Except that there was a body on the table where robots are dismantled and assembled. There would have been no room to take the robot apart.
Objection!
But what if it wasn't done on the table? What if the katana was used instead? You mean the sword? Yes, Your Honor. Miss Blackwell, I'd like your opinion as a woman of science. Isn't it true that the katana could have been used to take the robot apart? I suppose so. Their joints aren't made of a very tough material. A blade could slice through them. Thank you for your expert opinion, Miss Blackwell. Thanks to you, we now know that the existence of the severed arm in this photo proves that Ponko was taken apart. In addition, since the rest of Ponko was not found at the scene, we can conclude that the true meaning of this photo is very different from the original interpretation. You can't mean. That's exactly what I mean. This photo does not capture the moment of the murder. It is instead a picture of the moment after the robot was sliced apart. The blood you see there, where the arms was cut off, was transferred there by the bloody katana. Most likely, the rest of Ponko is scattered around Prosecutor Blackwell's feet. Not hearing this. Therefore, what was transported inside that case was not the defendant, but a robot. Miss Sykes never was at the scene at the time of the murder. My head, my body. Where am I? Order! Order in the court! It's true that Ponko was found in pieces after the murder, and I'll admit I repaired her myself afterwards. Yes! I'm finally making some progress. Hopefully I've gotten at least one step closer to proving both Athena and Prosecutor Blackwell innocent.
Objection!
And that right there is where we are going to call it. I had a feeling an objection was coming, and I kind of wanted to keep it for the objection. But I think that is where we will call this one for this week. But next week, we'll see if we can get through this first half. I think we should be able to. And then we'll get into the second half of the trial. I'm not going to say we're going to finish the trial, but we'll definitely probably get into the second half. That, I think, is nearly a guarantee. I just realized I could have made this bet a couple hours ago. And I didn't. So I'm stupid. Let me do that. Let me get music going. I muted myself. All right. There we go. All right, so with that, that's going to bring us into this one. Jaren, Dusk, Eagles, appreciate you guys for being here with me. If you're watching after the fact or just chilling in the chat, appreciate you too. Tomorrow, we will get to the Elite Four. We will get to the Elite Four. I don't know if we're going to, be able to run through them, but we will get to the Elite Four tomorrow in Pokemon. Maybe the run finally comes to a successful finish, but I don't know. No, my luck, probably not.
But we'll see. That's for tomorrow. And right now, just a heads up for next week. Don't think anything's going to change. So I think we should be good. You might get your normal. You should get your normal schedule. But always keep that in mind. With that, though, appreciate you guys. And I will see you next time. And remember, for tonight, call is the law.